always.
That's a movie, I think.
Awful movie.
Is it? Never really.
Isn't that the one with where she's driving? With,
this is the one about
Jesse
abortion.
Plemons. Oh,
this is a 99% of Rotten Tomatoes.
What's the one where she was driving Jesse Plemons?
Oh, you're thinking of the Charlie Coffin movie that you hate.
Yeah, I hate that movie.
Back on track.
Punch it!
Oh, it's over. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 83, Hyperspace Hype. We did one already this year. Yeah, we did. Okay. we just got back with our first My Cup of Tea of this year yesterday, but now we're back with another episode of Hyperspace Hype. Very excited because the Bad Batch has been killing it. We're just, enjoyability, man. It doesn't always have to be plot changing stuff. Sometimes your quote-unquote filler can be good. It can build up your excitement of the actual consequences. Anyway, joining us today, we have Evan.
Did you say filler?
Filler!
It's the bane of my existence. There's two things I hate in media reactions, reviews, whatever. It's two things. Something was rushed and filler. I hate those two words. I never use the words rush. I never use the words filler in anything because it's hard to judge. And I don't think this one is filler at all. There was some great stuff here. It was a very fun piece of Lucasfilm animation, and I will defend it. I had a lot of fun with this episode. If you didn't have fun with this, that's your prerogative, whatever. It's a fair game, whatever. But like I said last week, or I think it was the first episode, people also called it like kind of slow. I'm like, go back and watch old episodes of the Clone Wars. Go back and watch old episodes of Rebels, or any other Star Wars show. There are episodes that aren't like big, climactic, character-driven episodes, but it's still fun. Anyways, hey guys, glad to be here. Mandalorian trailer, and we should dive into that because I only saw it once. So yeah, it'd be fun to dive into some theory crafting.
Let's join us, Carson.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Tech is having the MVP season right now. 4 episodes in. I am loving all the Tech content. I am loving Omega as always, and I can't wait to talk about this episode. And then Mandalorian. We'll see. We're stating some themes. That opening line. I'm like, yes.
What does he say?
But if that's the only thing, if he just says that in the season, then that's the state of the development with the Mandalorians. Because I'm like, yes, this is what we've been waiting for. So I really hope it delivers. It looks fun. Kind of crazy that it's already been since the end of 2020 when we got Mando season 2, right? Or the end of 2021. Am I crazy?
It had to be 2021, right?
And then 2021 we got Boba Fett. Boba Fett was this past year.
Yeah, no, because
there was a year between those.
Yeah, there was a year between seasons. I remember this, and then there was the pandemic.
I think 21.
Boba Fett came out. I don't know.
Mandalorian season 2 ended December 18th, 2020.
Yeah, I knew it.
Oh
So
my God.
it's crazy.
Has it been 3 years? Feels like yesterday.
2.
Feels like yesterday I was complaining. Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, Evan, I'd like to throw it back to you just to say real quick, this trailer, no Moff Gideon in sight.
He's not rising from the ashes!
Where is its prison escape? I need it.
Yeah, the best prison escape of all time. Yeah.
This man's gonna have 3 seconds.
He's gonna get a comeback and like call somebody and be like, I need a pickup. And that's it. Cutscene. That's it. That's it.
Like, then he'll come in the penultimate.
He's gonna be like, I'm gonna need a gun.
No.
Gonna need a dark saber. We only got one of those, bitch.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Is it gonna be better than the prison escape sequence from the Crimes of Grindelwald?
That was a dope opening.
You know, it kind of did slap. At that point in the movie, I was not jaded. I'm like, yo, that was kind of a cool sequence. The rain was coming down the carriage and like.
Oh, now you see.
And then
That was
everything else
best,
happened.
honestly, best scene in the movie. It was all shit. from
Probably.
there.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Anyways,
Let's not talk in a hallway about our backstories. Yeah, not a good movie.
I have seared into my brain is that floating fucking baby in the middle of the ocean, like from the tomb scene where they just like sit there.
Oh man, I think I got a little.
That's a
lost
separate
in the sauce
podcast.
by-
I was like falling asleep, waking up to talk.
Oh
in the
my God, I
hallway.
was like-
It was bad. Anyways,
Ontario.
bad
Anyway.
batch. No, we're not. I don't know, we're not. You cannot pay me to commentary the FB trilogy.
Let's see what the wheel says. Spin the wheel.
What is this? Price is Right.
Yes.
Bad Batch. Oh yeah, so up front for the Bad Batch, episode 3, 4, whatever it's called, episode 4. Faster.
More intense.
Yes.
Left tunnel.
Always go to left tunnel.
The stud locked fighter section of the Lego Star Wars race.
So like I saw some tweets going around, and I hate bringing this up every time we talk about Lucasfilm animation, but it's just like somebody said the character development for the characters just went away after last week. Like, why aren't they continuing the character progression? I'm just like, I'm so lost because this isn't a Lucasfilm thing. It's not it's a television thing. Like, not every show is going to be built upon the last. Not every show can be as tight and consistent as like a Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. But even Breaking Bad had like the Fly episode, which I'll always defend as well. But like this happens in television in general a lot. Like, you could have some great crosshair development that had close to nothing to do with the episode development from Tech, Echo and Omega in episode 1 and 2. It's like things change, like perspectives change, and like Carson said,
and there was development in this episode. I don't
big time. I like the Tech stuff and I like the Sid stuff. It's a very interesting things I want to talk about here with Sid. But in general, I had a very fun time with this episode. Very much reminded me of like the Phantom Menace or even Star Wars Resistance, which was always about like the racing and the flying and all this kind of stuff. R.I.P. Star Wars Resistance.
And I love this like planet that they went to. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So where do we start?
I wish I would have knew that.
Well, first off,
I
didn't. First off, I forgot to check the credits. Was that Ben Schwartz? Is the
100%. I called him out as soon as I heard it. I was like, is that Sonic, Jalen? And yeah, he hasn't seen Sonic, so he doesn't know. But
I haven't either.
Sonic, the After Party, of course, most notably for me, second best comedy of all time, Parks and Rec. Third actually. Parks and Rec is he plays Ralph Macchio, right?
No, what?
No, not Ralph Macchio.
Entertainment 720.
Ralph something. I forget his name. Entertainment 720? Is that his name?
No, that's the
that's
thing they
the company
ran.
that-
This man said Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid himself.
Not Karate Kid. It's Ralph something.
We'll go with Ralph.
Overall. But yeah, he's fantastic in Parks and Recreation. He's always playing voices and everything. I immediately recognized his voice. I was like, if that's not Ben Schwartz, I don't know what is. It's not Bill Hader. I mean, it's somebody.
Both of which BB-8.
BB-8, exactly. BB-8 just voices Teo. But yeah, where do we start off in this episode? We start off in Sid's diner, the clubhouse. We learned that Hunter and Echo are off shipping Nerf nuggets, which I think is the first time hearing that. That was very interesting.
We got the fun side of the batch here.
So they're basically Uber Eats, DoorDash.
Yeah, we got the weekday job instead of the weekend job.
They're stealing fries. They're having a good time.
They're stealing fries. Exactly. Who would ever do that? That's awful.
Couldn't be me. Not us.
Couldn't be me. That's monsters. That's what they are. Meanwhile, Sid has Tech, Wrecker, and Omega act as security on the planet Safatoma. And immediately Echo does not want to do this. He's against it, which kind of like sowing the seeds for like the conflict, the inner conflict of the episode in terms of why are we doing these jobs for Sid, or maybe we should do something more. It's kind of been a tease throughout the early parts of this season of like there's a bigger thing happening in the galaxy. Sid is worried about the Empire growing. The crew is worried about the Empire growing. What path should they go on? And I think Tech is starting to side with Echo. You know, Tech was one of the other ones who was with Echo when they said we should do the what's it called? The Dooku job, the Dooku heist, over Hunter. Like he was
war
the
chest.
One to do it. The war chest. Multiple war chests, millions of credits. And so yeah, Tech is pretty much against this. And again, I like the whole focus on Tech in this episode. He had a pretty good arc. Pretty good stuff here. So yeah, we head to Stafotoma, and we're introduced to not pod racing, riot racing, Mario Kart.
Wow.
Literally, where they intentionally, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Fury Road style, here we go.
Yeah. It was really awesome. I really like this whole, I mean, I love racing in general. I love movies like Death Race. Have you guys seen Death Race? 2007, Jason Statham.
It sounds familiar. I've
You
seen
guys
the I was watching the Transporter movies instead.
Yeah, Jason Statham was killing in the early 2000s. You had
yeah.
Transporter, the Death Race saga. You had the when he was electrocuting people. What was that called?
Crank.
Crank.
And Crank 2 High Voltage.
I've heard Crank 2. I've heard to watch Crank 2. I don't know if they're good or not.
Yeah,
but
that was crazy.
I'm gonna stop
I've
saying
heard it's
electric.
insane.
I'm gonna stop saying Electric Boogaloo for sequels. I'm gonna start saying High Voltage.
High voltage. That's amazing.
Imagine if they named Fast and Furious High Voltage. That'd be
lit.
fucked.
That'd be lit.
All electric. We take a stance on climate change. We go all electric.
Wow.
Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices. Pulls out the EV car.
Oh no!
Oh shit! We gotta stop the charge.
I think that's against Dom's religion.
The first time we acknowledged that we had to stop, no gas stations. The first time we ever acknowledged that a car needs like routine maintenance.
The climate crisis. We
Tesla
gotta,
charger.
not the Tesla.
Oh man,
That'd be funny.
But yeah, Riot
Call me
Racing
Universal.
looked cool because like we're introduced to a lot of droid pilots. There were some aliens as well, but no humans. A lot of droids, a lot of aliens. Like there's a
No
protocol droid in there. Humans. There's a protocol droid in there, a battle droid, some aliens. It was really cool. I have some of the names written down for the latter race.
There was a battle droid with a protocol droid body, and I was like, I saw Attack of the Clones.
Oh my! What am I doing?
But then I forgot they swapped bodies back, so I was like, oh, it's not the same.
Not the same about. But yeah, immediately we realized like cheating is not against the rules. Like people are clawing at each other. There's traps. There's like we see the 3 routes and the red one on the far left. I'm like, okay, so at the end of this episode, somebody's going down the left tunnel, 100%, right? It's kind of like Chekhov's tunnel. Somebody's going down it.
Evan, again, I'm a stupid viewer. I believe face value.
Yo, come on, Nathan.
I never thought about it. I didn't think about it.
Jesus.
I thought it was like, oh, we can't do that one, so we're really limited on this course. So how do we bob and weave?
This is why you would lose the race, Nathan. This is why I beat you.
I'm a prime customer of any movie studio.
You are. Hook, line, and sinker.
They got you with
basic-
Morbius, man. You took the Morbius fate.
Hey now.
You took the Morbius fate.
We're past that. Evan was my witness.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
bad.
you watched it again. They got you again.
I watched again, Evan, first time.
You had my emotional support.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna watch it without me.
To be fair, you watched it on Netflix, right? So you didn't contribute
No.
again.
I contributed to the Netflix top 10.
Was it in the top 10?
Yeah.
Not at all, boy.
Oh no,
was.
it was.
Like
It
a
was?
week, I think, or 2.
Not while
No.
we watched it.
Yes, it was. Or no, you're right. Yeah, definitely it was.
Don't make me pull up the top 10 list. I
But
will.
now? What do you think's in there?
The pale blue eye, glass onion.
No, Prisoners has actually been in the top. Because Prisoners is on Netflix now.
Prisoners was doing well.
It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
in the top.
I
Yeah,
saw that.
for a
I was like, not the prisoners. Not.
Where's my daughter?
Ah!
Best yeller in Hollywood.
So
Hugh
fucking good.
I saw that news today of that new Emma Stone movie, and I was like, oh my god, Emma Stone's Prisoners. Change my mind.
Oh,
that
the right
premise sounds
thing.
fucking wild.
Apparently, she won't be in the Edgar Wright movie. I heard back and forth.
Oh.
We'll see. But yeah, she has a good agent if she is.
The reverse Amy Adams.
Amy Adams, take notes. Only one redhead in Hollywood can have good agents, I guess.
Look, Disenchanted,
She's every hair color.
Living in the Window.
Nothing's fair.
Let's go.
Emma's primarily redhead, isn't she? Or am I wrong? Or is she brunette? I don't know. I thought
Great
she was
question.
primarily redhead.
I've seen every photo ever.
Well,
It's
yeah.
always
I
different.
know she's not blonde. I know she's not Gwen Stacy.
Sometimes.
Well, if she wants to be, of course. I'm not saying she can't change her hair color. I'm saying what's her primarily.
I love when Star Wars is Emma Stone.
Thank you. She could be the lead in the next saga. You never know. Probably not.
I think we know.
They said woman of color, so unless she's like her character from Aloha, she won't be in it. Our favorite Asian, right? Oof.
Oh god.
I went down the biggest rabbit hole today. Somebody made a fan art of like a humanoid Puss in Boots, and everyone was
Ew.
like, well, "All right, no, it's cooler than it sounds."
I'm thinking of Catch the movie.
But everyone was just like, "Why'd you make him white?" And it's like, "Motherfucker, he's a Spaniard."
Oh my god.
Great movie.
What is this podcast?
I don't know what it is. So we introduced to Teo, who won the first race, voiced by Ben Schwartz. He wins the first match. Very cocky, very arrogant.
Cool.
I immediately, I saw him. I didn't fall into Nathan's trap of believing everything that's going to happen in an episode. So I was like, okay. So
How many
Wait,
prompts
what did
were
Nathan
there?
buy into? I missed this whole part.
That we weren't going into the closed tunnel.
They set it up 1, 2, 3. Classic fashion.
I saw limitations, and I saw, okay, now we have to make do with what we have.
Oh goodness, that's hilarious.
Listen, I'm not a smart man.
So let me ask you then, Nathan. Like when you saw Teo for the first time,
I didn't have a backup to that. I'm your guys' showrunner as well.
when you saw Teo for the first time, what do you think was going to happen to his character at the end of the episode?
I didn't think he'd blow up.
Me neither. No, not at all. No. I figured he'd be humble a little bit.
Out of nowhere thing hit. That was hilarious.
The Regina George.
Yeah.
It was great. I figured he'd be humbled. Like he'd like, oh, the Bad Batch, like Omega, like really changed him as a changed man, changed the droid, whatever. Didn't happen. So I was kind of wrong there. But he wasn't humbled. He just got like killed. Never
Yeah,
came
he
back.
doesn't. I don't think we can fix them from that.
I like this idea of there being like, kind of sleazy droids though. Like it's
Me
just
too.
interesting of like that they like are just impacted by that culture on that planet and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love interesting like droids in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, my
Who's
favorite
Dr.
droid-
Afro's droids.
I'm just about to say that Dr. Afro's droids
uh,
are peak. They're great droids.
Yeah.
What do they call it again? Dr. Afro droids. 000 and
000. God, it's just the hardest droid name of all.
BT1. Yeah, 000 BT1 are fantastic. They just got reintroduced in the latest comic for Afra. Up to no good again. And they're deadly crazy. Also, the one from Chuck Wendig's Aftermath trilogy, Bones, I think was his name.
Yeah, I remember. When I read like multiple chapters of that book.
Yeah, the first one's
Did not finish
awful.
that book.
Awful. The first one's bad, but the other two are
Yeah.
pretty damn good. It's a quick tangent, but that was like the first Star Wars book because I think what was that 2017? It was 2016. I forget when. That's when, of course, Lucasfilm Publishing is getting into the hang of things, and I was like, man, are every Star Wars book gonna be like this? Like this is bad. Like I can't get through this.
Yeah, it was like the first.
And then the book I read right after that was Lost Stars. So I'm like, oh, humanity is saved. Like there are good Star Wars books. So yeah, that was a rough go of it. I remember just sitting in my dorm at UC and just thinking like, man, this is chores.
This is rough.
This is rough, Bob. Sorry, Chuck.
That's rough.
Sorry, Chuck.
But
Not
yeah,
on a
so
short-term basis.
Chuck is good. Didn't he get like fired from like the comics and stuff because of some stupid reason or something?
Maybe for like yelling on Twitter. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Anyways, so Teo immediately wins the
My
race.
favorite
Cocky.
actor.
We're introduced to a new alien creature not a new alien creature, but a new character, Malegi, comes to offer a bet to Sid, and Sid arrogantly takes it. Now, Nathan, when Sid took this bet from Malegi, what do you think was going to happen?
All I was thinking was like, hey, that's the species from The Force Awakens. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, who told me that today? No, I saw Noah tweeted that was like,
what species?
Hey, look, sequel trilogy species that was featured.
He was like that big dude sitting in Maz's cantina.
Nice. Oh, yes.
First Order spy.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Right?
Bless you?
That's
not the song at all.
Yeah. It was close. It was, yeah. Sorry.
Oof.
You're no Lin-Manuel.
Yeah, Lynn, help me out, buddy. Sponsor us.
He's too busy performing for Preston.
Probably. Yeah, Malegi offers the bet. I immediately thought, like, okay, so Sid's gonna lose this bet, and then something bad's gonna happen to like the crew. I didn't think Teo was gonna get discombobulated. But yeah, he doesn't make it out of this next race alive. It was very interesting because he's in that last tunnel, and he gets taken from both sides by both of the alien creatures who are obviously cheating. And then when he loses the ship, when they lose the bet, I'm like, and Sid is like, he says, I'm going to take Sid as collateral. And they're like, you shouldn't do that. And then they like flex up on the Bad Batch, and Tech and Wrecker like on their holsters. I'm like, are they really trying to fight the Bad Batch? Like, the Bad Batch are going to beat you. Like, it's Wrecker. Like, you can't beat Wrecker. It's Wrecker. I'm like, take us on.
But they don't know who they are, though.
True, yeah.
That's the thing.
I was kind of like processing that.
Chewie, you won't.
Because when they took Sid, I'm like, there's a route you could go as a writer to be like, okay, fuck the race, let's just kidnap Sid and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and get out of here.
But I like how, I think even Tech mentions it in the episode. One of them mentions it like, we don't know who they are. They might come track us down. Like, they might just follow us anyways if we try to take Sid. So we got to do this the old fair way. But yeah, so they take Sid as collateral for not winning the mission. And this is when we get a good scene between like Tech just offering his frustration. They have to protect Sid yet again. There's a quote where he says, "This is not the first time she's required our assistance dealing with individuals of questionable integrity. It's a problematic pattern." And then Omega like looks down like, "Oh, well, you're right." I'm like, so I paused it because I was like, this is interesting. Like, are they sowing the seed for like Sid not being able to be trustworthy? And that's definitely the case later on in the episode. It was very interesting because I'm like, Sid is she's a duplicitous character, but she's one that you could kind of trust. I think the show's telling us like you cannot trust Sid, and
I think it mirrors itself to like that she has a past just as the Bad Batch has a past, and so it's mirroring both those sort of journeys of personal growth. Because I'm pretty sure she says in the episode like don't underestimate me or something.
You'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised. So I like the fact that like, you know, she comes from a different background where, you know, the Bad Batch were soldiers. Omega was, you know, sort of this weird experiment soldier thing that was, you know, on Camino. And then they're sort of both growing and sort of becoming this weird family. But I liked it because it's really the first time that we see, like, I would say every moment we see Sid is like a very obvious on-screen moment of like, oh, we're getting the details for this week's episode. Here we go. But then like here, it's like, oh, like we actually get to like sort of like break off and see what she's doing type of thing, which I thought was fascinating for this whole season.
Very true. And it's kind of like, it's mirroring what happened in season 1. I think he talked about like a problematic pattern. In season 1, we got that, I think it was like the Horde episode, the one with the tunnel, where Sid they required their help because they had that green character, I forget his name, or the species name. But he like betrayed Sid, and he betrayed Black Sun, I think was them.
The Pikes.
The Pikes, yeah, nice call. The Pikes. And they had to rescue this monster and give it to the Pikes. And Sid was in debt to the Bad Batch, saying like, "Thank you. I almost got like." She kind of ran a bad deal with the other guy. So it's very interesting. that this is happening once again, and they have to protect Sid once again. Omega's willing to do it because Omega's very nice, but I'm curious to see like in subsequent episodes, are we going to see them like finally willingly leave Sid? Because this is different from like what we're going to talk about later on with the Mandalorian. Like Mando has to leave the cult. The cult's not a great place. But I think they can still use it. I think Sid is they're writing Sid as like a empathetic hustler type of character, where like even though they were getting warnings at the end of this episode saying you have to leave, I think I don't know, I don't buy that they're just gonna be like, yeah, Sid, we gotta leave you. Like that'd be kind of weird and rude from the Bad Batch after Sid has done a lot for them. So I wonder how they'll take this information in subsequent episodes, but we shall see. Anyways, so Tech was talking about his frustrations, and he also says like he was downloading the map of the final race, and at this point, by the way, I thought Omega was going to be the one to race when they were.
I did too. Yeah.
I thought we were going to get like an Anakin pod racing moment.
Ha! You fools!
Oh, sorry, fell right, hook, line, sinker. But no, like it ended up being Tech, and I started to realize it was more so going to be Tech the more he was like battle of wits with Teo saying like, hey, maybe you should take the left tunnel, or maybe you should divert power away from the weapons than the shields. And Teo's like, amateur. Like, I would definitely not use like shields or a weapon. That's the way of the game. And then as he's talking and stepping back, he gets ran over by a truck or by an exploding vehicle, which again, very Mean Girls-esque. Regina George, Rachel McAdams immediately went there. That was just hilarious. I started like laughing out loud at that scene. So then Teo does not get fixed. Tech is gonna have to be the one to race here. And that was really cool.
Right back into the thick of it.
Right back in the mess.
I like the part where we got all the player names. We have Quick Draw Quasar, which was great. He was like, that was great. And then Flash Radix.
Flash Radix.
Pretty cool. And then we get to the end. It's like Tech, just Tech. And it brought me back.
Have you heard of this guy?
Spider-Man 1, where it's like,
my name's the Human Spider.
The Human Spider. Like what the hell?
Oh, that sucks. Bruce Campbell's a treasure.
Big time, yeah. He had a lot of jobs in that Spider-Man trilogy. Announcer. Well,
he's Mysterio.
Butler, Mysterio. Yeah, that was funny.
It was all Mysterio.
Eventually Tech takes over. The music here was great. I love the racing sequences. As easily predicted, he like diverts power away from his weapons using the shields. Again, very much like even though the Bad Batch aren't like Jedi, they're still doing good like Jedi-like things. Like you don't win by fighting. It's like how you win.
It's about having fun.
Yeah, by having fun. Jedi always have fun. No. Like he diverts power. He wins by the best offense, the best defense in the sense. Like he's defending more so than attacking. He literally removes his weapons, which was pretty ballsy. And then he takes
that was cool. Like we got like the little pit stop scene.
Hey, that was really cool. Yeah, didn't run over anybody. And then he diverts his weapons. He takes off his weapons, goes in that left tunnel that Nathan thought he would.
That was so cool because then there was no lights in there, and then like the he had to go around and like up because like parts of the shell were, like it was like a Mario tube almost. Were like
totally.
I was like, damn, this is cool. And the other guy just fucking.
Yeah, the idiot like basically just died. I'm like, wow, it's never brought up, but he just.
Nice one, dude. Like
dive bombs and dies. That was hilarious. And then he ends up winning. And he gets the crowd cheering, Tech. It was funny. I was looking on Twitter, and they're like, when Hunter comes back after trying to be conspicuous, and he sees on the radio like, Tech. But they're supposed to be hiding from the Empire.
You're right. You know what I liked about this episode though is like specifically how it showed like Tech obviously on the nose is very tactical and whatever, but also like he's starting to realize he can use his stuff for good and get out of situations or do certain things or be a role model to Omega or whatever it is in their weird little ways, and that's what I really liked about this episode.
Me too. Tech's becoming a pretty big force. that mean you're gonna die at the end of the season?
Oh, no. Don't do this.
You put
again.
that evil on me.
I think at this point, I'm considering all the Bad Batch surviving by the end of the season. Unless Cat Bane shows up.
Season 3.
We're never losing anybody. Stop.
You never know. Where are they in A
I
New
know.
Hope? No.
I know. That is the most
Where are
bullshit
they?
argument every day.
I hate that argument. Yeah, it's the worst.
It's your argument.
I mean, is it?
You
No,
use it
Evan's
for
argument.
Andor.
Joking.
He shares his dreams with ghosts.
Oh, he's totally dead.
He's not.
Stellan is a goner.
No
Like,
one's dead.
he should have like on his chest like pariah or like target. Like he should have a target on his back. Like
No one's ever really gone, Evan.
yeah, Stellan's gone. He's gone. Goodbye. Wish we knew you longer because you're a great kid. By the way, my brother's watching finally Chernobyl.
Oh, I saw him tweet about that the other day.
Great. Have you guys seen Chernobyl? Both?
Yeah, it's peak.
It's
I
peak.
saw The Last of Us.
No, you gotta watch Chernobyl.
Which one has Stellan Skarsgård in, Nathan? Not The Last of Us.
That you know of.
That I know of. Yeah.
He's
gonna
probably
be the main villain.
he's probably the doctor in the finale.
That'd be awesome.
Yo.
Joel, you don't want to do this. Do you know what happens at the end of Last of Us, Carson?
No, don't
You
say
know?
anything.
Okay, I won't say anything. Jesus Christ.
I was rewatching cutscenes today. I got up to the giraffe.
Nice.
Story hits hard, Evan.
It does.
I'm not ready to cry 3 other times this season.
Carson should catch up. Have you watched episode 1 yet, Carson?
Not
No.
yet.
Ah!
Jump. You watched 30 minutes of the Bad Batch. You couldn't watch 40 or 80 minutes. Of,
80 minutes, dog. That's the whole.
Hour and 20.
That's like
Yeah.
4 Bad Batches.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, the episode ends again. Sid is very gracious for the crew, saving her life. Malegi warns loyalty may not be repaid for the crew, and they walk away as like the people are like saying, "Don't trust Sid. Watch your backs." Basically, I'm like,
I'm pretty sure Sid turned on our side like 2/3 of the way in season 1.
I thought so too. Which is,
Yeah.
Again, it's weird.
It makes me think that they might be ratting him out, or like, I don't know. We still have the lady from episode 1 who we got introduced to. We still don't know what her motives are this season, so it'll be interesting.
Oh, you're right. Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes, yeah.
Right. Wanda Sykes, Ben Schwartz, the comedy legends is coming onto the show. Nice.
Who's next?
Well, Ben Schwartz isn't a legend yet, but great guy. Who's next? You decide. I don't know.
Bill Hader?
Bill Hader, hopefully. Bill Hader's always great. Somebody call him up.
He's a fan.
He's a fan. Always a fan. So yeah, that's kind of it for episode 4. Faster.
More intense.
More
I made that
intense.
up. I'm sorry.
So yeah, Bad Batch is fun. Next week, I forget what the episode's called, but it sounded intense when I saw it.
And more intense, this is called.
Something. I think it was called Something Wicked This Way Comes. I think that's the episode title.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Why do you give me hope?
You believe that? Come on, that was the easy one. That was the easy
I
one.
told you who I am.
Okay. It's Bad Batch. I mean, it's Mandalorian time. Carson or me? Which one? Who's doing it?
You're making me play the trailer.
Yeah, we have to.
I got you. Reluctantly.
At least it's just one.
It's not a big spoiler. I mean, it's funny because my first, I guess we can talk about initial reactions to the trailer. When I first saw it, I'm like, this was solid. Like, people were going crazy over it, and I thought it was just good. Like, it didn't give me anything new story-wise. Like, I'm like, it didn't hook me with the big. I'm not putting a big review or anything, thank God. But I was just like looking for like an emotional hook, and I didn't really get that. Besides, like, I think Din is taking on a bigger role this season, which is nice. Of course, the visuals look always great in The Mandalorian. But yeah, it didn't really hook me. So maybe this rewatch and this discussion is going to lead to some fruitful revelations.
Indubitably.
Carson looking for the 4K trailer on Vimeo.
Thank
The music I must stop. Alright.
Our people are scattered
Scattered.
like stars in the galaxy.
What a poet.
What
I like
are
this. I
we?
like this.
Love
What
it.
do we
Colorful.
stand for?
I have
The
that later.
ADR. Nice.
I tend to agree with your tweet though, Evan. I think it was you that was like,
Being a Mandalorian
this whole
is
season's
not
got
just
to be
learning
about him
how to
realizing that
fight.
he doesn't have to atone for his
You better.
sins.
If it doesn't
You have
happen,
to
I'm
know
walking
how to
out.
navigate the galaxy.
Navigate the guns.
Like, I understand now that he's torn between
You'll
two
never be
worlds
lost.
type thing.
Is
Now
this
that-
Navarro, by the way?
I think so.
No, this is like
Evolved?
Galaxy's Edge to me. People are like, is it Galaxy's Edge?
No, Batu, no. This looks beautiful, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to Mandalore
Like,
so that I may be forgiven.
stop!
for
There
my
is no
transgressions.
forgiveness to be had!
You'll learn.
Oh boy, have to do it again.
This is the way.
Fireworks, love it.
He's in Wonder Woman
Something
84 again.
dangerous happening out there.
I did love seeing
And by the
Coruscant.
time
This
it
was
becomes big
cool.
enough for you to act,
Teba!
it'll be too late.
Apparently, there's more stuff happening. The scale of
Oh,
the Republic
boy.
is getting over.
Order 66.
Hang on, kid.
Cool.
I love this shot.
Great job. It looks like Navarro. Are those like Mando's on Navarro?
I don't know if it is.
This is the way.
Holy shit, he used the Force! Oh my god!
Are we really Star Wars fans, guys? I don't think.
What do you mean?
You know, I don't know. I was having fun, and now I feel embarrassed.
What are you talking?
What are you embarrassed about?
What are you
I
married
don't
about, Bob?
This
you know,
show?
it seems quite cool, and now you guys are just like, oh.
I mean, did you like the trailer? I mean, talk about
I
it.
like the trailer. a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. To speak up.
Speak. Let the man speak.
I'm too shy. As the host. No, yeah, I like it. I like it. It's fuck, you put me on the spot on my own podcast. Yeah, no. The overall vibe just feels it feels very epic, like the whole idea of the Mandalorians coming together just from the different shots we're seeing.
Which is very interesting because I'd be wondering, like, okay, like, obviously at the end of the last episode, or the end of Mando Season 2, not Book of Boba Fett, he's like, no, I don't want the Darksaber, I don't want this responsibility, da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
True.
So it'd be interesting of, like, now that he feels, like, this responsibility to, like,
Yeah, where does it come
pull
from?
together, sort of.
Did we see that in the Bad Batch? Like this idea to pull together Mandalorians, or is that something that he will discover in this season?
I think it's something he'll discover.
Okay, yeah, because I think, granted, people have to watch the Book of Boba Fett, unfortunately, to understand what's going on in this show.
Unfortunately, you were going to bat for it once upon a time.
I mean, yeah. Remember, my take on Book of Boba Fett was that I liked the Boba Fett episodes. The Mandalorian episodes felt jarring, even though, again, like, I agree with the argument. Like, it is a book, and like certain pages can have different perspectives. That's nice, but when you take away from the main character, that was kind of weird. And when you saw the season 2 thing in a different show, it's kind of weird as well.
So who are all these guys? Are these his old pals from the beginning?
These are different armors.
Yeah, these are
Okay.
different. And I don't even think they're definitely not part of
Night Watch.
Night Watch. I mean, yeah, they're not part of Bo-Katan's crew, who we didn't see at all in this show.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah, no.
Her
Her ship,
we
I
saw.
think.
Isn't the shot of the people dropping out?
I don't think she's with them. I think that's her ship, though.
That's got.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would make sense.
I don't know.
I mean, she would want Mandalore back as much as everybody else.
But this
I
is
love
not
the droid
Mandalore.
bar.
Again, I think that's Navarro, that's where we saw Grief Karga.
I don't remember Navarro like looking this advanced though.
A couple years.
They're thriving.
It's thriving. Hey. Do we know what creature that
This
is?
creature was, yeah, kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, this one.
Nathan, you're a creature guy, right?
I'm a big fan of creatures. Yes.
So tell us who the fuck that is.
Oh shit.
I didn't say Star Wars creatures.
Oh wow.
Not an animal.
Yeah, this overall very interesting. Again, it's just like
Yeah. Let's go to the beginning here, because
Okay.
again, as Carson was saying, it's weird that he says like our people are scattered. We have to unite.
Like stars in the galaxy.
Like, where is his prerogative coming from? Because his mission
Yeah,
is
what do
to
we stand for?
his
Like
mission
he's
is what we see.
so
in
far
the
he's
seasons.
never really collectively felt that way yet.
Yeah,
Or at least
because his thing is like saying, I have to forgive myself for my transgressions.
what did he just say right there?
Being a Mandalorian is not just learning about how to fight. Let's see what else he says. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy.
It's kind of underwhelming line.
Not giving us
All
anything.
right.
But
You have to learn how to use a map.
you gotta learn how to drive the bus. Like
I have no idea the context. I really can't. So.
yeah, watch it be like one of the best scenes of the season.
I know, right? I mean, it looks
Probably
cool.
will be.
I love the shot of hyperspace. It looks really cool. Yeah, pause it, because his thing is about like forgiving himself from these past transgressions. So we have to do two things in this season. We have to see himself realize that yes, I came from a cult. The armor is not a great character, right? Like, granted, this is a different sect of Mandalorians. That doesn't mean she's bad. It's just that like. Yeah, she's not a bad person. The armor is not a bad person, but in terms of like the angel and the devil of it all, we've been saying since season 1, like, or primarily in season 2, how
I think he has to realize it doesn't make him any less valid if he
Yes.
does want to push for purpose, like
yes, that's what I'm trying to
within the group, and he wants to become a leader. Then his transgressions don't make him any less valid to do so.
Because let's not forget, like, these transgressions, I don't want it to be like a central plot point, like, because it was such a small thing, or not small, but it was very impactful in chapter 7 or whatever it was, when he took off his helmet to save, or in that Imperial facility to help save eventually Grogu, and then deliver him to Luke. But anyways, I think it was such an impactful moment because he's doing this for somebody that he cares for, and we all cheered for it. But then this season is saying like, now I have to go forgive myself, and Book of Boba Fett specifically said like there's a lot of different trials. I took it as like kind of like these, the famous 7 Herculean tasks that he has to do. I'm like, maybe his trial could just be like uniting Mandalore.
To me, by this point in his arc, I'm like, the helmet's gonna be off. We're gonna be like sort of like realizing who we are, like.
We're not there yet,
and maybe that will happen by the end of this season. I would love a scene with the armorer where it's kind of like helmet at his hip. He's talking to her straight up and like giving her his version of the monologue now that he's become like a bigger person and realized that like, it's like you were wrong. Like I don't have to listen to you anymore. Like you're keeping us divided. Da, da, da. Like I would love something like that. I don't know if it's gonna happen because I'm like, this thing. You have Pedro Pascal, one of the best actors working today. He's phenomenal in this role. There's a lot of physicality, a lot of stuff involved in it. But also, I at some point, if this show is going to span 5 seasons, I think you have to evolve beyond the helmet.
They have to.
Emotionally wise.
They
I don't
have
know.
to.
I could be wrong, right? We could go
I
5 seasons. We could go 5 seasons of this show.
Him saying like, granted, again, like I said, the armor is not a bad character. You can continue wearing the helmet, but you have to remove the mentality behind wearing the helmet. I think you can always wear a helmet. It's cute. It's cool. We like it. But the mentality behind saying like, oh, I have to forgive myself because I took off the helmet is flawed as hell. Because there's 20,000 other Mandalorians who aren't doing that.
Or just show, I've always said with this show, just show us like those off-screen moments. I always say that.
It's not gonna
like Andor did that a lot. Not to make this a comparison game. I'm not saying which is a better show. I'm just saying I think the show could benefit for, if they want to hammer home this emotional thing about Din becoming a leader and realizing sort of like his newfound purpose, beyond even Grogu, because for a while that was sort of like a distraction / like, oh, life could be different.
Yeah,
type of thing.
Who would he be without Grogu? I wish we would have got something like that.
Also, interesting. Which is Grogu gonna get taken this season again? Like finally,
he's like completely safe. There's no chance that Grogu gets taken this season now. No. Like you get taken once, he gets taken back off screen in a different show. there's no way structurally that
I
he
don't
should
know.
be taken away. And if he does, do something meaningful with it. I think
I'm also curious about just like sort of like the ominous forces they talk about. Like obviously, like the Republic is getting bigger, but obviously, equal dark, equal light sort of thing. The Empire is still looming in this part of the galaxy.
Yeah, I guess the bigger threat is going to be. Yeah, let's cut to this. Let's cut to this Tava. What's his name? Is it Tava? Yeah, there's something dangerous happening. Pause.
Out there, so I'm assuming he just means Outer Rim. Like
we see the medic from episode 1 on Coruscant, the medic that was working with. Was he working for Moff Gideon eventually?
Cloning. Yeah. People have speculated he's a Kaminoan doctor, right? So it's like.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw like the weird tanks last season, which I totally forgot about.
I forgot all about the tanks.
Yeah, remember that whole thing?
I do.
So that's going to be evolved on, presumably.
Presumably. So something dangerous involves, I think, the release of Moff Gideon, trying to prison break, whatever. But also, what are they cooking? Should we care at this point?
I figured.
First order.
And, what makes it personally responsible for Din to act is going to be also an interesting question.
The first order stuff
like
is always... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, what's the pull for Din to, like...
I mean, probably the pull for
is it still going to be a direct threat to Grogu this season? Is just very interesting.
That's the thing. I think it is. I think the tie is Grogu, so the expansion of the Empire is bad for... Din should care, / the audience should care, about the expansion of the Empire. Not the Empire. The Empire is gone. But the expansion of Moff Gideon's group, his sect, I guess.
And also, he's basically been one of the only people who's seen the power of it, I guess.
Exactly.
You could say.
And he wants it for some unknown reason that we still do not know.
Yeah.
I hope it's not cloning because I hate cloning. I wonder what. I just wonder what's going to happen. And who is he talking to in terms of like for you to act? Is he talking to Din? Like, because for Din at this point, it's going to be interesting. Why does Din go to Coruscant in the first place? Like, it'll be too late.
And this was is this the rubble of? I don't know what this is. Point. Is that Din's helmet? I didn't even realize that.
Go back. Try and see if you can get that shot right before this.
This?
Yeah. That's Din's. That's Din's headlight. I can't see the face. So I can't tell if he has his armor on. Looking at that. And then there's Order 66. But I'll get to this. I'll get to this in a second. But going back to the whole Empire expansion of it all, if he's talking to Din, that's going to be very interesting. Saying like we need to act before it's too late. If I'm Din, I should be concerned because Moff Gideon, his group of Imperials, has a direct effect against Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
But I could also see Din saying like, I want to stay away from this in order to protect Grogu. In a sense, it's kind of like the Hunter thing. We stay away from the Empire so we can protect Omega. And I think that's gonna be Din's thing. But then,
and also like, what is
Grogu?
Saying, I guess what is Grogu? I mean, it seems like with these flashbacks, we're gonna be diving into a little more of sort of Grogu's story. I mean, we had the whole thing in the Book of Boba Fett, which I'm trying to remember, which basically was saying, "Hey, what do you want to do, Grogu?" Right? Wasn't that the whole part of Boba Fett?
I think he just said basically, "I want to be with my dad."
Yeah. So I don't know.
I kind of grimaced at this scene. Not gonna lie. It wasn't my favorite.
Well, it seems like we're gonna go back for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't care who's behind the door. Grogu
cares.
Grogu apparently cares. They're all protected.
I mean, presumably it's just Anakin coming through there, right? Like
that's the only person it could be. Who else is in the temple? Clones and Anakin.
Yeah.
Is Anakin? Oh, people are gonna lose their mind when Anakin shows up if he shows up in this. So,
well, I mean, it'd be smart because then he's going to be a big part of Ahsoka, right? So.
Yeah.
I thought the big mystery people were talking is like who specifically takes.
Oh, who takes Grogu from the temple?
Why does that matter?
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter yet, but if you establish the person,
if that person comes back in the
I think it has to be a new person though. I don't think it's like
100%.
I would love a new character.
I would love a new character. Do not put in who's a famous character that people love to want to be in live action because Filoni loves this shit.
Quinlan Vos.
Who's the separatist that was like on trial at the end of Clone Wars? What's her name? the Dark Jedi. Starts with
Barris?
a B, right? Barris. Yeah,
Barris
Barris.
Barris, yeah.
Like, is it Barris? Does she protect? Does she take Grogu? Like, knowing Filoni, I don't trust him to create a new character. I trust him to create a fan favorite character that's like, oh shit, and then Din's gonna be like, who are you? Anyways,
Yeah. If that becomes a thing and that's why they're doing this, I would want that character to have a unique perspective on whatever the main story is this season and the conflict.
because if we have to go back, make it fruitful. That's why I didn't really care for the backstory in the Ahsoka episode, because I'm like, okay, and he was 50 years old. He was training in the Jedi Temple. It didn't mean anything to me, because it didn't really affect his relationship with Din in a sense, except to say like he should be with Luke. We saw and then he didn't end up being with Luke. They kind of didn't go anywhere. It didn't really challenge Grogu, as much as I was hoping for, at least. I mean, it kind of did in terms of like, does he want to be with Din or did he want to stay with Luke? That was kind of interesting, but it wasn't mined to its fullest potential, in my opinion.
And I guess, do we still not know why the Empire wants Grogu specifically?
No, that's what we were saying. I think cloning, right? That's the only thing we can think of.
Snoke baby.
And then second question, was Grogu being the offspring of Yoda's species, are they playing that off as that was a secret from everybody?
No.
Or is that just like us? We're like, oh my god, we've never seen like
It's
a
just, I think us.
Okay.
Given
Just
this
checking because I wasn't sure.
Given this flashback, it seemed like he was just part of the academy.
Part of the.
Part of
I
the
forget
tribe.
how it all went down, so I just wanted to double check.
The only part we see like he was important was that these four are protecting him, which we saw this. This is the same exact shot from season 2. Like we saw people protecting him in season 2, and now we see it again here. People are like, oh, so let's bring Bob back. Like, but going back to the person that protected Grogu, or who, what do you say, Nathan? Who took Grogu in the past?
Whoever rescued or got Grogu out of here.
That person can't be good, right? Because we see him in season 1 under the hands of random people in danger.
Or they get killed. I mean, that's the other.
So there's two things here. We just said I want this new character to have some kind of relevant main plot.
Yeah, I mean, that
he
would
gets
be interesting, and it would be interesting if they gave Grogu up for some reason and sort of gave in to something. I don't know.
Ray's parents, or TLJ Ray's parents, where it's like money, just random. Grogu was nobody.
Again, I think there's a space there for a new character.
Yeah, I just remember
it would sort of oppose like Din's like obviously parental guidance to Grogu, and that would throw a wrench in things of like just overall Din's arc. But will that happen, or is this literally one scene that we get Grogu in a dream sequence or something?
It could be another Ahsoka scene. I think Ahsoka might appear this season again. Unfortunately,
well, she won't be in this scene.
No, but I think like via Ahsoka we'll learn more about Grogu.
Oh, got you.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because
maybe he's at a point where he can tap into that himself. So maybe it's just like his Grogu. So maybe it's not like something explored.
Inserting memories into Din?
No, I don't. Din might not even know. This might just be for the audience benefit of Grogu's.
Oh.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Zoom in, headshot into Grogu's head, that kind of thing.
Dreams or something.
Dream.
One day we'll watch.
So yeah, these are all TIE fighters, TIE whatever those other ones are called.
This planet looks cool.
Interceptors.
Sure, TIE interceptors. Yes. So again, this could be the scene right after, if he's encountering the Empire, I think then he goes to Coruscant and talk to Tava. Maybe.
Is this Din flying the ship though?
Here?
Yeah,
it is.
Let's see.
Are we sure?
Right here.
I mean,
that's the ship, right?
Wait, let me see the cockpit shot again.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah,
planet.
rocks, water.
It's the rocks in the lake.
Okay. I don't know if it was like a
wait,
because
that's not his ship, is it?
No, it's not. I think it's Bo's ship.
Oh.
Well,
it could be Bo.
Yeah, because there's the little drop carrier thing.
Huh. I like how the droids are like, get out of my place, like kind of like the Tatooine.
Yeah.
No humans here.
Good reverse.
That'd be fun. So yeah, basically we see the Mandalorians grouping together. Grogu using the Force more and more. But I wonder how the Force could be a dangerous thing as well.
Right.
Grogu is kind of
And
like
now that he doesn't, he's chosen a certain thing. Obviously, I would hope there's some sort of repercussions, nudges along the way of certain things that happen, and he needs to be like sort of corrected.
exactly. For example, this is very much like your Aang at the end of book 2, where he leaves Guru. Crap, I forget his name. The Guru. In order to save Katara, he stops his training. He chooses love over his training. That is exactly what happens with Grogu, right? Like the classic idea, even going back to Dagobah, like he chooses his love for Han and Leia over finishing his training. And guess what happens? He loses his hand. He's not ready, even though I think he did the right choice. But Grogu, I think, also did the right choice by choosing love. But it does have its repercussions. So I think the trailer teasing us with Grogu using the Force, there could be some unfortunate incidents with the Force that could happen because he didn't finish his training. That could be a thing. Could not be a thing. But
I'm just trying to think of ways to develop because he can't speak, so we don't know.
I don't.
Will he speak?
Hopefully,
I don't think so because
I think by the end of the
young.
season, he'll be speaking like one or two words.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am Grogu.
We'll
Like
see.
I am Groot.
Good job.
Thank you. But
yeah, Babu Frick.
Abu Frick's here with I mean his species.
It's not
is
Babu
here,
Frick. It's
of
an
course.
Anzellan.
Yeah.
Could be.
And
Could be one of
Shellen.
them. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I beg that it's not Babu Frick.
Why? Why does it matter?
Why does every character need to be in this? Just put a random creature.
It's not every character. Settle down.
I mean, you know what I mean. There's a lot of. It's not necessary at the end of the day. I mean,
It's not
again,
life
it wouldn't
altering
matter.
either.
It wouldn't matter, but like, I don't know.
Have fun, man. Have fun for once.
I want to have fun with the show. I think the show. I think again, given everything I've been hearing about this season, that like, again, like we've been talking about,
Like this is fucking cool. Like
that's a beautiful shot.
this shot is beautiful.
Mandalore got fucked. But yeah, Din uniting his people, becoming the leader. People always keep talking about Din becoming the leader. But he is very much Jon Snow season 5. Like,
Right. I
he
agree.
is not fit to be a leader if he can't even handle his own Night's Watch. And I think his own Night's Watch in this case is like Grogu and certain sects. Like,
I mean, they're all so fractured.
they're all so fractured, and Din isn't really leader material yet if he can't fix himself. That's why I would love for Din to be a leader. But for you to be a leader, you have to go through your own inner emotional hurdle. And that hurdle is realizing that you don't have to be forgiven for your past transgressions. So I want that to happen first and foremost. Then he can grow into becoming a leader. Then he can grow into actively putting a part against Moff Gideon. Because so far, it's always been running away from Moff Gideon or only going after Moff Gideon because he took Grogu. He's never actively said, yeah, here's our attack plan against Moff Gideon for no other reason than to say
Correct.
this guy is bad, which is what should happen. So, and that's what Tava is saying. So this season can be doing a lot in terms of 3 things.
Yeah.
Handling Din's emotional trauma or emotional loyalties.
Yeah, and Din, like you said, Din being actually mad at Moff Gideon for the sake of the Mandalorian.
For the sake of the Mandalorian.
Just
Not just like, hey, I
Grogu.
need Grogu. So the Empire, his own inner stuff, and then uniting Mandalore. Is that all going to happen in season 3? I don't know, but I like
Probably
that these are directions that they're thinking about that we see in this trailer. At least, I mean, this line doesn't give me confidence that I have to be forgiven, but hopefully this line is saying like, the line is just a reminder about like Din's emotional journey at the beginning of the season. So hopefully by the end he realizes like, hey, the armor isn't telling me what I should be doing personally. Because again, I'm not saying the armor's group are bad, but he has to realize that they're cult-ish, right? Like they're not helping him. They're not helping him. They're not bad people, but they're just not helping him move along. They're making him stuck in his hero's journey in a sense. Of course, Din has a great hero's journey, classic stuff going on here. He doesn't want to answer the call, that kind of stuff. Actually, yeah, Din has a way different hero's journey, so I don't even want to say that. Because like other heroes, they yearn for something more, and Din isn't really yearning for much of anything besides Grogu,
which has been part of the problem.
Probably the problem. We don't know what Din's what Din yearns for in this set. We don't know what he wants.
Which, to be
outside of
fair, that's
Grogu.
sort of baked into the character. He's torn between a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I would just like him to be explicit in what he's wants or
Yeah.
starting to want, and I think it sort of is coming together this season.
I think so too.
And
And
it's just a wait and see for me. I don't want. I mean, I will keep watching the show, obviously.
I'm always gonna watch the show for sure.
I still love, most of, if not all of season 1, and a lot of fun episodes in season 2 that I liked, and I like the directors they've assembled this season.
Let's talk about that. Or unless you guys have anything else to add from the trailer, Nathan. Or,
Not really.
No,
I think the visuals are great. I like seeing the Mandalore here.
I think
like
the trailer is
seeing-
like pretty like tame because I imagine it's only
pretty
like the first
tame.
couple episodes,
Yeah.
give or take a couple shots.
I mean, I like it being tame 'cause I think from season.
Yeah, will we
2's
see any
trailer-
Darksaber action this season in terms of I forgot about the whole feud
Yeah.
between.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that real quick. So that's another thing that's a fourth thing you can add to
yeah,
Din's
that's got to
journey.
be taken.
Because Din in season
somewhat
2
of.
said, "I don't want the Darksaber." It was the psychology battle where Moff Gideon tricked Din into hoarding the Darksaber.
But then he's probably going to see how other Mandalorians react, I think is how it's going to go, and maybe change his perspective. I don't
What's
know.
his response? I think you're right. I think going into the third thing I mentioned in terms of so Din has his own inner emotional stuff, he has the Empire stuff, and he has becoming a leader. And I think becoming a leader is going to be connected with his
to the
journey
Darksaber
with the
stuff.
Darksaber. The Darksaber stuff is going to be our crutch, our focus for going into him becoming a leader. Because I think he thinks just because he carries a Darksaber, it doesn't mean much. Or I have to rewatch the scene.
He just doesn't fully.
I have to rewatch the
Get
scene
it,
with the Book of Boba Fett episode where it's all about him using the Darksaber to defeat
And
that other guy.
to me, I think it's also going to be important to use sort of Din's attitude towards that against Bo-Katan's sort of ravenous thing about it, and then so sort of calling out her hypocrisy of Din's stuff that he comes from this group, whatever, but then equally Bo-Katan has her own issues, like that she's equally the groups are fractured and emotional in their own ways, and so I would love to see that sort of come to play, that that yes, Din will come to appreciate the weight of the Darksaber, but also Bo-Katan will come to realize that, a lot of stuff has become a failure because of the lust for the Darksaber.
Exactly.
And her included.
She, as much as she says, we got to unite around Mandalore, I think she's one of the main reasons that the Mandalore isn't united. Because I think she's focusing on the Mandalore. She's focusing on the wrong things. I mean, she's focused on the Darksaber, not Mandalore.
Not the people.
Not the people. Granted, Bo-Katan is a great woman. I think she'd be
100%.
She'd be a good leader. Probably
like
more
she said,
so than Din.
she's going through.
Believe.
Yeah.
Sabine thought so.
Sabine thought so, right? So also who could appear in Mando.
So that's why I think her arc is going to be one of humbleness and just.
I hope it's interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah.
I think the show wants to write Din as the Jon Snow type, the person that eventually takes the leadership role.
Yeah.
But that means Bo-Katan has to be I bow down, not bow down, but I concede to you, Din.
Yeah, and I think it will be sort of the better path for the people sort of thing. I'll still be here for you, and I will always serve the people. But
I like that route. But is Din gonna be ready for that? Because I really want to rewatch.
Yeah, and I think this is that would have to be a 2-season arc at least to get to that.
I really want to rewatch the scene with him using the Darksaber because the reason he's training on that moon planet in the Book of Boba Fett is because he's not. What was the reason for it again? Was it because he's not ready?
Well, it was a similar thing with Sabine, just the way you.
It's an incredibly hard weapon to wield.
Did she talk about how did Armor talk about him being a leader in that scene, or was just about
more like his psychology affecting his ability, his physical ability to wield it.
Interesting. I have to rewatch that because I think it might be saying opposite things than what's already established.
It kind of went beyond the physical and more on the morality.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Okay. But yeah, because I think it's interesting because in the beginning of this trailer, it seems like he wants to unite his people, which is, again, as we mentioned, very different from what he used to sound like. But maybe the Darksaber is teaching him, like, hey, I have to be responsible. I'm just very curious. 'Cause I think, again, I want him to be better than what the armorer is saying, like forgiving himself. I want him to be better than that before he wants to unite his people. Because all these things are good, but I think one should come before the other, or one has to come before the other. Because he shouldn't be like, I'm the leader of our people, but I'm still part of this cult where I don't want to take off my helmet. Like, what? Like, the people that you're leading don't follow that creed either.
Yeah.
You saw so many of them.
And again, I want to read it. I don't want to say like the armorer's clans are bad people. It's just that they're doing things differently. I think that's different.
And to me, like, I see this scene so clearly of in every animated show, and just this whole arc with the Darksaber, we've seen like the big address with the Darksaber in front of the clans.
Oh yeah.
And I see that.
I can't see Din doing that.
And I think it would be a cool endgame thing to see that with Din with his helmet off, addressing the people. He's nowhere near that point, but I would love that later on.
He addresses the people. He says like, "We need a battery."
You'll learn.
But I think it's very I agree. I think he's not there yet, but I think that's season 4 then.
Yeah, and 5. I guess it's just one of those things where now it's like I think all the nuggets have always been there in this show.
Yes.
It's just begging to escape, and it's so close. For me personally, on the execution, obviously a lot of people love this show. Just for me personally, I love the tone, I love the style. It just is almost there for me on getting over on the execution, and quips with my personal distaste of the finale last season. I still think the show's got a lot going for it. I just hope to see season 3 be a more complete package at this stage in the show.
I totally agree. I think execution is a big part here.
Yeah,
and a little bit of the writing as well. Most of the writing. Yeah, I think mostly writing, and then because I think the directors have been fantastic. And we'll get to that.
Exactly. I'm excited that Rick Famuyiwa is back.
Yeah, Rick Famuyiwa is back, and one of the big names here. First of all, the people that we know: Rick Famuyiwa, Bryce Dallas Howard. Is John?
Oh no! Star Wars Twitter confirmed it today. So that seemingly told me that there is no John, no Dave at all in season 3, and these are the only directors of season 3. I could be wrong, but I think it would be weird for StarWars.com or for Twitter to.
So we have Rick Bryce, who we know before.
Yeah.
Lee Isaac Chung. Wow, that was surprising. Lee Isaac Chung from.
It's crazy.
Mandalorian.
He made Minari, and then. He's directing this and then directing Twisters. It's crazy.
Twisters!
Uh-huh.
I'm hyped.
Then the biggest shocker for me... Oh, Carl Weathers, which we already knew.
Carl Weathers also a veteran.
The biggest shock for me is Rachel Morrison, who is the director of photography on Black Panther, on Ryan Coogler's movie.
Yes.
I think she also... Did she... No, because Ryan Coogler's worked with 3 different... Anyways, she's a very talented cinematographer, so... very excited to see her direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. She might have directed some stuff. I'm not sure. I have to go to her IMDb. And then Peter Ramsey of
the goat.
He co-directed
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. Yes.
Yep. Of course, he's also part of Across the Spider-Verse in terms of producing. Rise of the Guardians. He also did as well.
Who was the last director you said?
Peter Ramsey.
Before that?
Carl Weathers?
Morrison. No, the lady. That's not
Rachel Morrison, who shot Black Panther. She's a cinematographer.
I think they were saying that she also did the second episode, I think, of Book of Boba Fett.
Was that her? No, that was like a Steph Green.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Steph Green of...
And she's doing an episode of Ahsoka.
Yes.
Oh.
Ahsoka.
Steph Green did like Jessica Jones and like some other things, I'm pretty sure.
A lot of people did Jessica Jones. It's crazy.
Could be wrong on that.
I did Jessica Jones.
We all did Jessica Jones. But yeah, Lee Isaac Chung has me most excited because he blew up.
I love
after
his
Minari.
sensibility. I hope it shows through. I'm not sure how
it might not. I mean, it's not much directors can do.
I mean, and essentially he hasn't directed any ginormous budget stuff.
Yeah. Again, these are
the
television
cool thing
directors,
is-
you can see different things, but yeah.
Rachel also shot Rick Famuyiwa's Dope, which is a phenomenal movie. So I'm sure that connection also comes
Love
into
Dope.
play.
Tony Revolori, great in that. Yeah, I love Dope. Dope's great. Great
Oh,
stuff.
so Rachel also did shoot Fruitvale Station. I forgot if she worked twice with Coogler, but she has.
I still have never seen Fruitvale. It's too heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah,
Me
it's
either.
it's a one and done watch for
Yeah, I'm
sure.
good.
But it's phenomenal.
But yeah, and
And
you
she
guys
does have some
anything else to
directing
add?
credits. She's
Oh,
directed
really?
an episode of The Morning Show on
Apple TV. Yep.
and she's also directed a couple other like network TV shows like Hightown and American Crime Story. I haven't heard of those shows, but so yeah, I guess she's always also directed. That's cool.
That's really cool. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah. In general, yeah, season 3 is gearing up to be exciting. Any crazy predictions for season 3 before we head out? Do we think Ahsoka's going to be in the season? I have a feeling she might.
Yeah, because
Or they
her
just figure-
show's coming up next.
Yeah. Are they going to do another backdoor pilot? Double backdoors?
I mean, is it a backdoor pilot if it's already a full season?
True. But yeah, I think Ahsoka could show up.
We're getting 8 episodes, presumably, right?
Presumably, yep.
Hmm.
Ending April 15th or so. Or end of April, actually. So, yeah.
Oh, fucking Cobb Vanth. He's in the back to. Does he come back? He's coming
Oh
out?
yeah, we are going back to Tatooine, so we could
So
see Cobb Vanth and Boba Fett.
I'd like that.
Boba Fett can have more lines in this show than he
I
did in
am
the other
sure
show.
we will.
Speak freely.
Remember the one episode where he had no lines?
He wasn't even there.
That was wild. He wasn't there, but then the second episode, when they were like all around the table mapping out how they're going to do the finale, he was still just, it was all Fennec Shand. It was weird.
You think Tamara was sick that day?
Probably. Anyways, yeah, we could see Boba Fett. We could see Cobb Vanth. We could see who else in earlier seasons. Ahsoka again, like I mentioned.
Probably Sabine, good chance.
Sabine, good chance as well.
If Ahsoka's there.
Who is a person in Order 66? What are we going to learn from the Order 66 flashback? Again, I hope it's fruitful. I hope it's interesting.
Maybe like more so the journey out.
Yeah. The
as
journey.
opposed to the events.
Yeah.
Because that tends to be what it's more about. Not just like, oh, stuff's going down. It's about the after effects of the person living through it.
Yeah. Good point.
The meat and potatoes.
I love my bean potatoes.
It's pretty good.
Pretty
Depending
good.
on the cut.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think that's all I got on Mandalorian. I don't know.
Yep. That's about it for news stories, I think, for the week.
Anybody watch anything Star Wars or read anything?
So, no, I have not. I'm always reading like the High Republic stuff, and
Yeah,
the High Republic comic, the last one that came out, I think last week, is connecting with the Battle of Jeddah, like word for word from the Battle of Jeddah, and that was
That's
really
cool.
cool. Seeing like the name list again in comic book form is really cool. So yeah, I'm liking Kevin Scott's High Republic run. Dr. Aphro's run is just so good. It's just so good. Recently, she got nominated for a GLAAD nomination from the GLAAD Awards.
I'm glad.
Great stuff. Thank you. You're terrible.
I built everyone's favorite scene out of Lego.
Oh, the best scene in Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah,
Great
This little
stuff.
hallway.
very nice. Yeah.
That's a great
The
hallway.
elevator and everything.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Do you have Din saying "Who are you"?
I don't know. I mean, I have it in. I haven't built it. I'm thinking of selling it.
You have the technology.
I do. But
Yep, that's about it. Good Bad Batch episode. Excited for next week, and we'll keep it running. We're gonna do more than 20, right? More than 20 episodes of Hyperspace Hype this year, guys.
well, at this rate, there's plenty.
There's plenty. 16
Unless
episodes.
we
of Bad
do those
Batch.
damn double ups.
Well, fun fact: Rachel Morrison is directing her first movie as well. It's already wrapped. It's called Flint Strong. It's written by Barry Jenkins and directed by Rachel Morrison, starring Brian Tyree Henry. So very excited to see what that
That's
is.
a great package right there.
Godzilla
It's the
versus
story
Kong
of
Skull.
Clarissa T-Rex Shields, a boxer from Flint, Michigan, who trained to become the first woman in her country's history to win an Olympic gold medal in the sport.
Wow. I love a good boxing movie.
Ryan Destiny plays Clarissa Shields. I'm not sure what she's been in.
Nice. Good job, Rachel.
So that'll probably come out this year too. So she'll have a big year.
Sweet. Yep, that's about it.
All right. Well, it's just so anticlimactic. Where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9. Trying to get Willow renewed. It's great. Willow season 2, everybody.
Evan's 13th reason.
I love Willow so much. I have the, as Carson would say, the Willow rock brain. I've loved consuming the show. I love rewatching certain episodes because it's so joyous and so great and so meaningful.
Is it peak?
It's peak.
Is it Willow?
Like I didn't put it in my top 10 of last year, but I should have. But I didn't. Like I put my top 10 list out like after episode 5. And I think by episode 5 I was already loving it, so I should have done it. But I didn't pull the.
Wait, the last 3 won you over.
Yeah, last 3 like completely won me over. But even though the first 2 are like decent, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 great episodes. They announced like the behind the scenes Willow on Disney Plus is happening next week. So the behind the scenes
that doc
episode.
looked cool. I watched the trailer and Warwick joking it up as always is so funny.
It's amazing. Like he's great. The whole cast is just amazing. Like,
and I follow Erin
fantastic.
Kellyman on Instagram, and I see all of her behind the scenes pictures. So
yeah, I've always been following Erin. Erin is the best. So yeah, Willow's great. Anime continues to be great. Even though I'm not watching as many anime this season as I should be, I'm watching other shows. I'll catch up at the end of it. Yeah, that's about it.
Carson.
over on Twitter at the Film Carson. What am I doing? What am I watching?
What are you cooking?
What am I cooking? I don't know. Nothing at the moment.
Cook.
But yeah, just watching a lot of anime. This winter season's got me hooked on different things, and also I've been watching movies on the weekend. I have been going to the theater. I've been so bad. I've
What
been
was
watching.
the last time you went to theater? Was it Avatar?
Yeah, I haven't been to the theater in a
Jeez.
month.
Wow. Go see
Ooh.
Plane. Go see Megan.
Go see Plane.
Plane's good.
But you know what? You know what I thought today,
support
Evan?
it.
What?
I'm like, I'm coming up on my 1 month of being back to Way of Water. I should go.
Stop. James
I was
is
thinking
taking
that the
enough of
other
your
day
money.
too.
So I might be tempted to go back because it's probably going to
No.
be premium screen
No.
sooner than
Still need to see
later.
Puss in Boots. Prioritize Puss in
Double
Boots.
feature.
Or do double feature.
I can watch Puss in
You
Boots at
have
home
to
though.
prioritize Puss in Boots. It's peak Carson.
It's at
great.
home now.
You
I
can
hate
watch
to
it
say
Yeah, I could just buy
if
it.
you buy $20, or you can pay $10 to go watch it in theaters.
Or you can
Oh, but
come
I'm
to
doing
Google.
I know, I remembered. I'm doing a couple of virtual Sundance movies starting the 24th.
Yeah.
Excited to check out Sometimes I Think I'm Dying by Daisy Ridley starring.
As written
Fair
by
Play-
Daisy Ridley. Written for the screen.
sounds like a band.
Gosh.
Fair Play, which has Alden Ehrenreich. Very excited to see that. Produced by
You sound
Ryan
like Noah.
Johnson and Rams T Street.
D Street.
All these are Star
And
Wars alumni.
Bad Behavior, starring Jennifer Garner. So I'm excited to see her.
No, Star Wars.
And
Bet you
yeah,
know
that's
of.
about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Bob, I've been cooking a long time. Follow here. See what I'm cooking. The recipe is
Battery.
it's too many ingredients. I need the battery. I need the dialogue.
Tess, I need the battery.
I mean, I got
Jennifer
Evan,
Connelly, sorry, not Jennifer Garner.
Queen, wife to Paul Bettany, who was in Star Wars. There we go, full circle.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, hello! You just missed us. Please come back next week.
What's up now, University?
Rewind, be kind and rewind.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a thing in my show as well.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Besides hi, we like saying hi. Hello.
Hello.
Everything's
Exactly.
fine here.
He knows what's up. I wrote something today for the show. down the line, and it's just it's outrageous. It's may have gone too far in a few places. Maybe it's the biblical
Wow.
banger. Absolutely. Had to do it to him, Bob. But yeah, a lot of good stuff coming soon. Everybody's coming together, getting dialogues. Gonna cut off that trailer. It'd be beautiful. But that being said, if you guys enjoyed our podcast, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and already ring that bell so you don't miss future episodes of Hyperspace Live when we cover Mandalorian Season 3 and the rest of the Bad Batch and beyond. So that being said, hope you have a great day. Catch you guys next time. May the Force be with you always.
Bye.
I said the wrong last words.